All right, welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about refs. Okay, what are refs? Refs stands for a reference, okay, and they can be used in a number of different ways, but I'm just going to cover the most likely scenario that you're going to use a ref, and typically when you use ref, it is used to reference some kind of element inside of a component that you might need to modify via JavaScript or something along those lines. So let's go ahead and whip up a quick example here. So we'll call this ref example. And a new file. And we will export default our function ref example. Okay. And let's just make a simple kind of return here. Just make this a div like so. And then inside this div, we'll have this is some text. And then there'll just be another div here. You know what? Let's make this a section or a container. And just gonna add a little padding to this, so maybe it looks a little less awkward. P3 like so. This is a bootstrap class, adds 1 rem of padding around the entire thing. Okay, and then we just have a div here with this is some text, and then we're just going to put in a React bootstrap button here. And we're going to put change text. And then we're going to have an onClick handler on here. That's going to call an onClick function, which we'll just define here really quick. We'll keep this very, very simple. OnClick goes to the onClick function like so. Okay, and so this is our basic example. Let's just get this to show up in our app here. And just quickly refactor this, and then you can go check it out. Okay, so this is some text, and it says click this button to change some text. Right now it doesn't do anything, obviously. Okay, so refs. So the way to use refs inside of React is to use the useRef hook. So const ref is equal to useRef. And by default, you can essentially put in any kind of value that you want here. You can actually manipulate this ref, and it acts sort of like a state, except it doesn't cause the component to update. And that's why it isn't very useful to use it in that kind of fashion. So how you typically are going to use this is we're going to want to reference something inside of our component and then be able to do something to it. Now, there are easier ways to accomplish this particular effect that I'm going to show, but this is just for an illustration purpose only, right? So let's say I want to change the text here on this div. So what I could do here is we can type this as HTML div element like so and set this to null. Okay, so this reference by default in here is the default value, just like as if you were using useState, right? And then in order to get, for example, this element right here, we use the ref property or prop and just pass in our ref that we have generated right here. And then when this here renders, it will attach a reference to this element, to this variable for us. And then we should be able to, we're just going to console.log our ref out here. And we'll pull this back up. And I'm going to go to my console here. And I'm just going to clear everything out of here. And I'm just going to click this. And now we can see that we have our ref right here, and ref.current, the current property will be a reference to here, this div right here, you can see that we can even just like mouse over it here and it understands that this is the element that it's referencing to. And if we click on it, it even like takes us closer to right here. It shows exactly what it's actually referencing. So that's actually a very cool thing that you can use here. Now, if we want to do something like change the text of this element here, we could have like ref.current.inner HTML is equal to while we changed the text. And it doesn't like this because there's no guards on this, and so it could possibly be null. So we can just check if ref current, like so. Okay, and there we go. So let's jump back to our example here, and I'm just going to clear this out. And I'm going to click change text. And it says, wow, we changed the text. There you go. That's exactly how you use it. So this is very handy for anytime you just need to get the reference of some kind of object. Usually the reason why you need to do this is, for example, maybe you have some kind of like jQuery component, or you wanted to execute some kind of jQuery code on an element on the page, or some kind of plugin that you're using needs a reference to something on the page because, you know, it was wrote with a different kind of JavaScript framework and you just need to be able to pass the reference into it. So I would say like almost all the time, this is exactly how you would use it. If you wanted more details on how to use refs, there's a section inside of the react.dev learn section under the escape patches section, which is referencing values with refs, where they show you how to use values with refs. But honestly, you're never going to actually do this. I think after several years of working with React, I have never once even thought or even considered to do anything like this. It's just sort of a useless feature, but who knows? Maybe you can find a reason for why you would need to do this, but it is possible. So I think that's a quick little overview of refs. That's really all you really need to know about it. And let's move on to the next video.